Mark Bragg is a songwriter and musician based in St. John's, Newfoundland. I've been a big fan of his music since I first saw him on stage 20 years ago. We talked about his creative process, how songwriting for him is like sculpture, how he's been recovering from serious health setbacks, and what it means for him to belong to such a close-knit music community.
You don't know what to do, and you don't know what to say. Forget all that. Start anyway. Spark that fire and build it high, and watch it burn, then let it die.
I had an apartment downtown that I hosted all ages shows in.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and you played a show there
Yeah,
at one point.
yeah. You looked. I sort of kind of placed that as soon as I was just curious as to earlier whether or not like I knew I played in PAI a few times. Like I didn't know if anybody would remember any of that because it was quite some time ago.
It was, but when I was thinking of this talk and I was thinking of the first time that I saw you, which I think was at Myron's in Charlottetown. Do you remember Myron's?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was maybe 2006. It could have been the ECMA showcase or something, but I remember very clearly this guy jumping around, just going nuts on the stage. You were hanging from the ceiling at one point. I was like, who is this guy?
As that guy would.
Yeah, he did that a lot, I think. And then, of course, years later, you did that show in my living room, and it was
that's right.
obviously a little bit more subdued, playing to like a few dozen sweaty kids, but
Yeah.
but the energy was there still. Like you always had this energy performing,
Yeah.
and obviously, as a lot of people know, you had some health issues that ended up with a big stroke a few years ago, and you've been in recovery. I'm really wondering if that, like, do you still feel that energy? Is that still in you?
I do. Yeah. It looks an awful lot different than it did, but yeah, I still definitely feel the same energy.
Mm-hmm. During your recovery, you were sharing a lot. Like you started sharing your wins basically on social media, which was, I think, really great. And I think that you were sharing it for, people who were going through similar things to show people how that could happen. But it was also great for those of us that know you and we're looking for updates, and we're really glad to see those. But why did you feel like you wanted to do that?
Well, I guess the selfish reason would be I'm kind of performative. Not really, just kidding. But joking, not joking. But I found it I don't know, like it felt like super helpful to be like I kind of had the feeling that my recovery was gonna go pretty well. So I wanted to sort of like for my own purposes, somewhat document it in some way. But mostly it was also for me it was a way of being social too. Because I wasn't at the time, I remember I wasn't getting out as much. Like I'm a lot more mobile now than I was when I started doing that. Like I'm on my feet most of the time now. At that time I would have been in a wheelchair the whole time. So I wasn't getting out as much as I'd like. I still have some trouble getting out because my mornings are all shagged because of on my meds, on my seizure meds. So they kind of knock me out for the first half of the day. But I am out performing a bit. So part of the videos in the beginning was sort of like there's a lot of shitty stuff about social media, but what I came to learn when I was kind of laid up a bit that it's a pretty fantastic tool if you can't get out socialize as much as you'd like to. So I was using Facebook and Instagram just to kind of keep people updated, and also just like I did certainly get a ton of great feedback about meaning a lot to people to just like I said to be posting your gains like that's I felt like I enjoyed that, like getting that kind of feedback.
Good. And I think, a lot of people who aren't musicians and performers maybe would feel more maybe wouldn't wanna do that as much as
Mm.
somebody who's used to,
Yeah.
performing and being out
That's probably
there.
part of it, yeah. I never thought about it in that way.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I was never entirely shy. I mean, like, as a shy kid, in, like, grade school or something, but, actually not really. I was always kind of an insufferable attention seeker until I found music and I had a place to put all that stuff where it belongs. But so
Yeah.
before all that, I was just annoying, showing off all the time. But it turned out to be something that, in the end, I was meant to be, but there was also a time and a place for it. And the time was at night, and the place was on a stage. So,
Yeah.
just leave it home any other time.
Were you one of those teenagers that were, like, playing guitar and getting in bands when you were, like, 14, 15, 16?
God, yes. I was mostly
Yeah.
the kind of guy who would crash a house party with an acoustic guitar and ruin everybody's time, soaking up all the energy from my own,
Yeah.
assuming everybody loved, what I was doing, but being dead wrong.
Were you writing songs then too?
I had to write a lot of shitty songs before I was able to feel happy with the work.
Yeah, I think everyone does. I think
Yeah,
that's the point. Yeah.
it's important. Yeah,
Did you grow up in Newfoundland?
yeah. Well, Mount Pearl for as a kid, which is basically, um, essentially kinda like a suburb of St. John's, in some ways. Don't, make sure you edit that part out. Kidding, not kidding. But it's, yeah, so totally. When basically, after I graduated high school, I mucked around a bit in a few different towns. Like, I did the normal Halifax, Toronto route, um and
Mhm.
then ultimately find myself back home. The Halifax route was really particularly fun. That's when um, you know, was part of that ECMA show was when I first moved there, and it was, really fun, getting around, do things like what you were talking about, playing at what was that bar you said? Myron's.
Myron's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then, somehow, even after the roof fracture crawling, I still managed to get invited back to your place for an all ages show. I didn't, uh, I didn't cancel like, that audition worked out. But yeah, so Halifax around then was when all that was going on, that was super fun. And then the Toronto thing didn't go quite as good. So, but either way, that's pretty typical St. John's route. Go to, either Halifax or Montreal, and then land in Toronto for a few years, and then get, you know, like, "Fuck this," and then go back to St. John's.
I think it's a similar kinda thing for PEI people. It's like
Yeah,
maybe go to
I bet.
Halifax first and then, yeah, Toronto or Montreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Or Calgary.
Yeah.
Calgary's always on the list. Where do your songs come from, and what do you like to write about?
It's, so I think a lot of the things that kinda set this apart, I mean, a lot of people write narrative fiction, but people are mostly used to hearing what I call confessional songwriting, which is people
Mm,
singing about their lives or experiences, and, oftentimes they're quite brilliant, like, wonderful experiences and taking different, seeing it from different angles and stuff. That's kinda the best kind of confessional writing as near as I can tell. But
mm,
in terms of narrative songwriting, I'm pretty much a fiction writer.
mhm,
So all of the songs are kind of character driven. It's all about characters and wherever they find themselves in a situation. Um, the music kind of drives it. This kind of picture kind of comes together. Um, of these characters, like what they might look like and what they might be doing. So it's just kind of developing those a little bit by giving them actions and a purpose. Sometimes, like if I had my songs in front of me, I could scan them and give a more concise breakdown of what
mm,
that um would look like. But
mhm.
in broad strokes, which is what we're probably talking about anyway.
Yeah,
That's kind of that's always been like it wasn't always, but for the most part, for
yeah.
my recording career, as of that's the kind of way I'd work. It was all basically narrative fiction and character driven.
And you said you would usually start with music?
Yeah, the writing process for me is music, either playing guitar or piano, or sometimes using, well, not very often, but, um, using one of those beat making machines, but
Yeah.
mostly it's piano. So I'll just, uh, play, um and, like, sing gibberish, like, I'm one of the
Mhm.
songwriters who just sings blah, 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 and, like, gets some
Mhm.
consonants in there and some like, sing what a sentence might sound like, and then, you get this broad strokes picture of what you might be creating or might be trying to create, doesn't even matter, um what it is at that point. So you'll record that, and if you feel like it's got any potential, you'll record that and then revisit it, like play it back and like kind of write like, what was I singing there? What was I trying to sing there? And it kind of be like I kind of liken it to, you know, it's you're kind of doing like a sculpture at that point, like where like a visual artist with just say you're a wood carver. You got this, branch that looks or a piece of wood that looks like that you can find something in there. So, when I'm doing that part, like, singing the gibberish and playing piano, um, once I start to see what could be something, I'll record it then, and then you'll start, playing it back and writing lyrics or, what you might have been saying there. That's where you're chipping away, trying to get the shape that way, and that's why I wound up writing subject matter that I never would have, um, like, I don't set out with a specific topic. It's just like, it finds its way in there. So you just keep chipping away and rewriting and re-recording stuff until it's something that you're happy with.
Cool. Did you take piano lessons as a kid?
Not as a kid, but as a well, I guess you're a kid as a teenager, obviously. But I, uh, I didn't learn piano per se. I found a teacher. I wanted to learn how to play piano just so I could write songs. So I had
Uh-huh.
no interest in learning how to read music. I found a teacher who was willing to teach me, just enough theory that I could start writing, and she would maybe
Mhm.
learn some, like, what was it? Like, just oogie woogie songs. Well, no, boogie woogie.
Right.
Those are some those are some words I still fumble over. There's different
Yeah.
kinds of vowel and consonant combinations that I still have trouble with speaking. And
Mhm.
anytime I come across them, I just try to practice them until they
Mhm.
become second nature. So my voice is a lot better now than at the beginning of the stroke for sure.
Yeah, it's funny how people come to find an instrument in the right time of their lives. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I was a little kid when I started learning piano, but I stopped taking lessons when I realized all I wanted to do was know enough so that I could accompany myself because I was a
Yeah.
singer first,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be able to just, play.
I think we had this conversation before.
We might have.
We
Yeah.
did. It's all coming back. I'm getting this serious sense of deja vu, and you're looking seriously familiar saying those exact things. It's like, we definitely had this conversation before, like 20 years ago. We had this
Probably
conversation.
20 years ago, yeah. The music scene in St. John's is one of the most tight-knit scenes, in the country, and you've been playing with a lot of the same guys and gals over the
Yeah.
years. What does it mean to you to be in a community like St. John's that's so tight-knit and supportive?
One of them just walked through the door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my bass player. He figured, I'm gonna wait till the time that Mark's in the middle of an interview, and I'm gonna pass his door and go in and disturb him. And then he was sheepishly crawling out.
Is that another Mark? Is that Mark Neary?
That's Mark Neary, yeah. Plays with Novaks and myself.
Yeah, I think we met. I think he played in my living room too.
Probably he probably did. Yeah, the music scene you were asking me about. Yeah, no, it's amazing. So, it's like I was always ever since I started my music career, I've always felt pretty tight with that community. And then, uh, for all the reasons you could typically talk about, that would be, um for the normal reasons. But then when I had my stroke, you see it more firsthand. I remember being in hospital when they had these fundraisers set up, like fundraiser/tribute shows when I was in the first stage of my recovery, watching
Mhm.
all these live shows go down on live streams on my laptop when I was in hospital. So
Mm.
and then see all of these, songwriters and performers from Newfoundland interpret your own songs. Like, it was all my songs that they were performing. So that
Yeah,
was pretty heavy. Um,
totally.
so that was a beautiful thing. So, it's funny that a lot of the stuff, that has happened for me, since my stroke, were sort of like, I'm lucky in certain ways that they're kinda meant to happen when somebody dies. So but I get to be alive to see it all. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I get to see that community firsthand up in that way, and it's also become a bit of a pillow to fall back on with my recovery because they all got my back. I'm out there performing again, and I know that there's no like I'm not at all ashamed to be given the how different my performance acumen is and my singing voice, and it's all like, and I look and I move a lot differently, obviously.
Mhm.
So it's they got my back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
I like to describe it as I have a lot of social currency in this town, so I can cash in on that now.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So, recording is tedious for you, probably because it's not as energetic, maybe, an action as writing or performing is.
Absolutely. This
Yeah.
is and also it's frustrating because it's like semi when you got to make a decision and then it's it's on the record like it's permanent. Well, I guess that's why you're making records to do that. But you when you're performing live, I mean, you can do whatever fuck you want and then
Yeah.
not worry about it being the one
Right,
like the
yeah,
take,
yeah.
right? So
Have you ever worked with a producer where you let them decide how the album's gonna sound?
I've worked with a couple of producers. My first record was made by my aunt, Pamela Morgan. She sings for Figgy Duff. That's a pretty well known name in the like maritime folk world, I think. So she kind of brought me into the took my like guided me through my first record.
Mm.
So just basically taught me other things that needed to be done to make a record. Not all the things, but some of the things,
The building
because
blocks?
I would have been too young to, recognize or even appreciate what she was, trying to show me.
Right.
But because I guess I think I was around 2021 when I made that first album. I don't know
Mhm.
why I'm, like, making that tone as if I'm asking you. Shouldn't I know that better than you? I guess it was around what was I 20? Was I 21? Was I 15, Drea? Maybe I was 15, Drea. You tell me.
No, I think you were 20 or 21.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, your latest record, Ashes, came out just before you,
Yeah.
almost died.
Yeah, 2 days before, like, I had the CD release,
Mhm.
and release party, and then 2 days after that, it's just like, boom, down it
Mhm.
goes
Wow.
for, like, half a year, I think. How's
Yeah.
that?
And, I read an article that said that you basically have a whole new record ready to go.
Really? Who the fuck said that?
Some CBC
That's
article.
too much pressure. Who said that was Melissa Tobin, I bet.
It was,
An
yeah.
arsehole. Yeah. She's a jerk. She's putting all this pressure on me now. Now I gotta release an album? What a
You
dick.
don't have to do anything, man.
Exactly.
I'm wondering about the songs that you have now. Like, have you been writing lately? Is this
Uh,
new songs or is this
a
older
little
songs?
bit, yeah. I've got, a bunch of them that were written, before the stroke, just not recorded.
Mhm.
And I got a bunch more kinda conceived, like, within that, those I've got a bunch of those branches that I gotta work on, the way I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
describing the finding of the roots. So, I'm gonna work on those. So, it's interesting trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with all of those. Am I gonna because, when I first had my stroke and where my singing voice has changed so much,
Mm.
um, I was kinda, of a few different minds about how to proceed if I was gonna go back to some live things and try to make a record of live stuff that hadn't been released, or make a record out of live stuff completely, both released and unreleased, or if I was gonna you know, sing. I mean, there's just a bunch of options that I was mulling over. But I think where I've landed is that I think I'm happy enough to sing the new songs with my
Mhm.
new voice. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I heard some clips from the, uh, Tom Waits show that you guys do
Yeah.
of you
Yeah.
singing, and I was
Yeah.
impressed. I was like, that sounds like Mark." He's
It is
doing it.
Mark.
Yeah.
He's got a different voice, but he's doing it.
I was thinking, earlier today that, like, being able to express oneself through music and art is something that I think a lot of people take for granted.
Mm.
And I'm wondering how if has that idea changed for you? Like, has needing to relearn how to play instruments again and relearn how to sing, has that changed anything like that for you?
The business about taking it for granted, that was a bit of an eye opener when I was first recovering from that injury, with all the deficits, like all the changes. Like, I really in the beginning thought that a music career was not gonna be the thing. Like, I was gonna get into something different, like maybe try writing shitty fiction or something like that, like doing some bullshit like that, consulting or management, some crap like that. It's
Yeah.
like, but
Right.
but ultimately, it's like, as I started to get some of my abilities back, it's like, no, man, this is what I got to do. And as it turns out, well, you mentioned that Nighthawks night as an example. That's kind of like a family that I curated years ago, of like people. A lot of people just met for the first time. I've had like
Mhm.
marriages come out of that. Like,
Mhm.
it's wild. Um, but it was a yeah, it was a pretty special community for a few years, and then it was done. It was kind of like this. Like, I was never gonna remount it, because where it has such a beautiful run. Second cup of tea is
Yeah.
never sweet, as they say. Um, but then after my stroke, I came when I came back to trying to figure out what I wanted to do to help me get back into the music world. It was just there waiting for me. Like, it was this community that I kind of fostered years ago, and um, and like help people. Like, there was a lot of first timers, like people who'd never seen a stage before, were encouraged to get involved in that night, and then they did so, and they kind of exploded, and
Mhm.
that was kind of like, it was like, it's kind of like I get to turn it. The way I see it is, it's now, like, I can kind of fall back in that community, and they can help me get through, learn my music again at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So, but yeah, St. John's is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Answer your first questions. Love it.
Yeah, I've only been there once, and that was a really long time ago.
Well, next time you come back, make sure there's a Tom Waits night going on, and pick your 2 songs and send them to
Okay.
me in advance. We'll make sure we got
Okay.
them ready.
Love it. I'll do that. I think that's good. I think I got a lot
Excellent.
of good stuff here, and I really appreciate you talking to me, and it's been great to chat again,
Yeah, you
and,
too. Good to hear about what you guys are all up to over there. So make sure any of our mutual friends, you tell them that you were talking to me, and that I'm doing good, and they're welcome. They can hit me up anytime, especially if they've got like any strokes in the family, so I can show off. It's like,
right.
here's how good your aunt can recover. If all they got to do is pick up a guitar, get on a stage, and rock.
I'll make sure everyone knows.
Awesome. It's good to see you, Drea.
You too, Mark. Thanks.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
It's nothing and everything. It's a gentle sigh and a scream into the void. It can leave you. It can be you if you let it die. It can make you cry. It can dry your eyes. It can be the one that keeps you warm inside, and it breaks your heart, then tells you where to start if you let it. You don't know what to do, and you don't know what to say. Forget all that. Start anyway. Spark that fire, then build it high. Watch it burn and let it die. It can make you stand up, make you fly. It's a lifetime. In the blink of an eye, it's obsession and objection to the status quo. You got a lot to do, and you got a lot to say. Just write it out, get it on the page. Find your crew, get mobilized, and maybe soon you'll realize that it's nothing and everything. It's a gentle sigh and a scream into the void. It can leave you, it can be you if you let it.